Yeah, this was a really important performance to come out and do what we did in the first half. That leads to a very important result. This probably was going to be our most difficult game in this 5-game stretch, the 5 games in 15 days or whatever it is. All the adrenaline and energy and excitement that we had to put into the last few, like Orlando away was the almost the end of the stretch of not having as the quantity of people available, missing 9 or 10 due to Olympics and injuries, and we emptied the tank and got a very important point. Now everyone starts coming in. Those first few games, I think everyone sees help, and we can share the load. But this one, game 4, was always going to be the hardest. So I'm very proud of the group in the performance. First half that led to the position. We should have scored the 3rd and should have scored the 4th, which could have saved some energy. We didn't, and then we were very professional to see out the game. And to get through this, looking ahead to Sunday, of course, everything's a bit easier, even though that's the 5th game on this stretch. The game means too much to us that the bodies, the minds won't be listening to the bodies by that point. I think tonight was that time. We saw it probably in the second half. The mind started listening to the body a bit too much, and yeah, the players have emptied the tank, but it's put us in a strong position.
Thank you. We'll open it up for questions now. Grant, go ahead.
Hey, Mark, hope you're doing well. Congrats on the win. I was wondering if you just talk about the importance of Rocky tonight, winning the ball and sparking transition as the 8 and then playing deeper when Salem came off.
Yeah, I think all the midfield did a very important job. Rocky was finding some great space behind their wing back when they were in the 3-5-2. I thought she was getting, when Gotham went back to 4-2-3-1 as a weak 8, she was offering an option the other side of the 6. And is smart and intelligence with her positioning, which we wanted to continue to improve on the awareness and searching for space and then being in space. Her aggressiveness, her ball winning, her tenacity in those moments continues to be key. I think she's got to take a lot of credit for what she's doing at a physical level. I reminded her after the game for the first time last year. She was doing 45, 60 minutes and was playing a game and resting for a game. She came from obviously another team that plays a different way. And what we demand of our players mentally and physically is really, really high. And she was always going to take time to adapt. And now if we look at her, I think she's a machine. And she continues to go. It's a massive change to Challenge Cup and Full Series last year. And it's credit to how she applies herself. So I'm impressed with that development and that transition to being an absolute Thorns warrior in there.
Thank you. We'll go next to Paul.
Hey, Mark, you've talked a little bit about this the last couple of weeks, but can you expand on maybe what some things you as a staff learned 2 years ago in terms of dealing with the players going away and coming back from a big tournament so that you can keep your momentum going from here? What are some specific things that you're doing differently this time around?
I think loads of lessons. I'll zoom into one that's most relevant right now is there's going to be a load of noise around you. The players are going to tell you they want to and need to play. That's their job. You're also going to have people unhappy that players aren't playing as much as people think they should be, whether that's teammates or staff or fans. Ignore the noise. That's what I learned in 19. Take care of your athletes, take care of your people, listen to them, but also make decisions that's best for the short, medium, and long term. And it's the same when you're thinking about playing people that haven't had a huge amount of experience. If you listen to the noise, the answer is don't take risk, be safe. I think it's important to have a clear vision and put everything into that vision while being a good person and giving everyone love and support. I think this was the biggest lesson from 19. Ignore the noise, stick to your principles, the way that you and the staff and the players have decided to work, be smart and stick to it. Don't bend, because I think things get worse when you move away from who you are and you start chasing something that you don't know what you're chasing. We're chasing being a better version of ourselves every day, and it's never been clearer. And I think it's really guided us through this tough period.
Thank you. We'll go next to Caitlin.
Hi, Mark. I'm just wondering if you could talk about playing Sink at the number 9 tonight. Obviously, she did that on Saturday, but obviously she usually is in the 10. Is it just a matter of not wanting to take Angela Salem off, or what is behind the decision to put her there?
No forwards is the starting point. Simone's had a small knock, probably be back maybe Sunday. Tyler Weaver's coming back from injury. Yeah. Simone and Soph kind of be going there on their own for a good month or two. And finally, we're getting some help back. I think Risa, who's now left us, gone to school, did a great job with Hannah. Hannah needs a lot more, obviously, a lot of time. We've all seen this journey before. We all know that it's going to be a journey. So that's the starting point. But tonight we felt there's going to be a great opportunity for Sink to be Sink. I think she plays the 10 because she's a fantastic passer. She sees things, but she sees things because she knows what type of balls forwards want. So now, tonight against Gotham, I think we've always ripped them apart in transition, and we ripped them apart with passes in behind them. And Sink being on the end of those passes in finishing positions is scary. And then her being in creating positions. Saw the ball she played the second half, just millimeters away from Weaver, whipped in behind. You see the pass for the penalty. It just felt like the space was going to be up there, and to see her take advantage of that. Going forward, we have someone who's world class in the 10 for us. We have someone who's world class as a 9, and I think we're going to continue to see her in both spots for the next few months.
Thank you. We'll go next to Caitlin.
Hi, Mark. You guys dominated in the first half, but in the second half, Gotham got into the game. They looked a lot more dangerous as the game went on. I'm wondering what changed in that final stretch that made things look a little bit more nervy for you guys towards the end.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. I'm really disappointed with the goal. I don't think we should concede the goal. And the scoreline should be, Weaver scores, Yasmin scores, it's 3-4-0. But the performance, I think, his focus is, wasn't as good. Credit to Gotham, first of all. So they changed shape, they came out, and they were a bit more brave. They took more risks, and we've seen that from them. We knew that would be the case. I think from us, you saw a couple of things. Our build-up suddenly wasn't as clean, and positioning, and we started dribbling, and that's fatigue. Started making decisions just off. We just dropped our attacking build-up play a few percent. But to us, if we're not building and playing, then our distances when we defend suddenly get bigger. So if we're not having the ball and building attacks and getting into zones to create, if we're not doing that, now we just got more distance to cover. We got angles a little bit more difficult. We attack in a way where we create chances, but we attack in a way that helps us defend. So we lost that. I felt we got it after that. We had a stoppage when Bella went down. I thought we got it back, and we started building again, and we got back in their territory, but we got in their half and stayed in their half for periods. That was obviously after the goal. So credit to Gotham. Our build-up slowed down. That means our pressing was off, and loads of fatigue everywhere. This was going to be the tougher one. We got through it, 3 points. If we can dominate the first half, 15-1 in shots. I thought we could have scored multiple goals. I didn't feel Gotham were in our half. That's the standard, and we didn't live up to that in the second half, and that's great. We've got good work to do before a massive game on Sunday.
Thank you. Last question, Grant, go ahead.
Hey, Mark, ever since Sophie Smith came into the league, her runs have been super dangerous and one of the best parts of her game, in my opinion. They seem to have hit a new level in these past few matches. Can you talk a little bit about what makes Sophia running in behind so dangerous?
I don't want to just limit there. I think that we're nowhere near what we're going to see from Sophia. We're nowhere near it. I talked about it in pre-season. And the beginning of the year, we would get momentum. We get 4 or 5 weeks or so, and then she goes to camp, and she wouldn't play. And I think confidence. It's a tough situation when you're on the fringe, in and out, and then she comes back. Confidence would grow, and then she off again. And when this unfortunate decision where she was going to stay here with us happened, at first I'm pissed and I'm frustrated because I really, really believe in Soph, and I felt that she's done amazing work with us. But then also there was a massive opportunity, and now we've had consistent time. And as soon as we all knew, and Soph knew, and we knew that when consistent time happened in this environment, she was just going to grow. We're nowhere. We're 2 months in, 2.5 months into some consistent time. 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. We're nowhere near what Sophie Smith's going to be. Movement, positioning, timing, and angle of runs behind, unbelievable. Her receiving touches to go forward, a dribble on the dribble, shoot left foot, shoot right foot. She started to play more passes in the right times, in the right areas. Pressing, willingness, pressing, angles. See the way she got the goal. There's no coincidence. She cuts off. She goes after the first centre back, Johnson. She puts Johnson in her shadow and asks the player, Skrosky, to take more touches. And she pounced. And she's through one-on-one. She's been doing that all year. Her angles continue to get better and better. I think this is a player that has a lot of quality, but just seeing nothing. We're just 10 weeks in. I'm really, really, really excited to continue to see her development. And you've seen others and how they've grown over time. We're nowhere yet with Soph.